I can't believe I turned that into my intro. Hi everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. I'm totally joking with you. Hey, how you all been doing? It's been 2 years since I haven't posted something on this channel. Not like it would bother any of my 20 followers who are just close friends and family, but it'll be quite an intro for maybe some future newcomers. And by now, you realize with my terrible accent that I'm not fluent in English and that you'll be spending all of your time reading the subtitles. I've had the dumbest idea after watching so many MMD and one day asking myself. It's a bit of a shame that once you've seen that model just do those weird move and clip through itself, it's just not the same anymore and you just can't seem to take your focus from it. And then, it just hit me. I want to make a video about it over me analyzing some of it. And since I didn't know how to start over this channel, I thought I'll give back most of my time with this project because I've watched way too much to argue it hasn't been a complete waste of time. But you've seen the title of the video, you know we will be talking about MMD, and for those who doesn't know what a MMD is, well then, what are you doing here? It's like the most niche subject that doesn't make any sense because I don't have any follower and just me plain rambling over my Sorry, I tend to derail. So for those who doesn't know what the MMD is, it's basically a software that you put a 3D model with its background and something akin to what I'll call instruction for that you blend together, giving you a mess of 3D polygons doing the half-life.mp3 sound effect. Yeah, I'm not really good at using the software. And others are, and some even do it in Unreal Engine since it's better known, but for now we'll only focus on the MMD part. To help me, I've made a really simple grid in which I've separated 4 main axes, that is the 3D model, how nice and well put it is, and the originality for 3 points, the choreography, in which I'll include the camera movement for 3 points also. The background, if it has been taken from whatever word site or if it's been crafted by the artist for a point. And finally, the music, if it's been copyrighted or not. I honestly only use this point if it's a cover for a grand total of 8. And I've been lying to you about a 5th one that is not especially required, but I didn't want it to include it with the others since it's more of a personal thing. That is, if the artist added some visual effect like some nice subtitles that flow with the images. You'll see an example when we'll get into it. At the end, I'm still going to give each one my own personal score on a base of 10 because I've seen some result and the grid just feel unforgiving. So, the big explanation is over. I feel like it's been a while since I made a joke. Hey, since it's nearly Halloween, you know why the pumpkin is blue? Because sometimes people call them pumpkin. Ha ha.
Oh man, I'm dead.
I will be reviewing at least 5 videos for today that aren't in order, but if it does get some traction, I may think about doing other review like this one, not like it ever pleases people other than weird one like me. Before diving into the analysis, I wanted to say a quick shout out to the creators that made the video we'll be reviewing today, that is Mox and SirWu. I'll add their link into the description below. I do not own any of those, so please go check it out. I'll only show the important parts for the making of this video. And also one to Akashi, that is what I'll call a retailer. I should just call it an uploader because he doesn't make the video himself, but re-uploads it from the website Bilibili, the more or less YouTube of Asia. So thanks to him, we have the chance for us Westerners to enjoy with our own eyes those delicacy of pure gooning. Now, for something completely different. I'm not ready for this. The first one we'll be talking about is a dance song of one popular girls band group, Red Velvet, known for either Irene or Solgi. I'm sorry guys, I'm Team Solgi, her song 28 Reasons sold me quite a bunch. As for the model, it's the default outfit of Seridra, a character in Honkai Star Rail, and be prepared because it's not the last time we'll be talking about the series. I am a full-fledged of the series after all, doesn't I, Hanabi?
Don't talk to me, you fucking psycho. You throw me at the ground like nothing and makes it look like you're a total joke. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you in your sleep.
And instead of recording my daily gameplay and making easy money with it, I decided to make some side content video out of a side content itself. Someday people wish they weren't born. Well, for me, today's that day. But all of that content have been put together by one of Akashi's content creator.
南风话
I can't even speak English properly. How do you expect me to read that? So, the content creator
南风话
has made what I can call a normal video. I wanted to give you a bottom line with this one of what I can expect of most of the other MMD. I'll say it again, the videos are not really in order, it's more for needs of understanding the analysis. And yet, with this one, we'll scratch quite the bottom of the ranking. Oh, oh man, just realized I... And yet for this one, we'll scratch quite the bottom of the ranking, and let's not forget our little grid that's been made just for that, and see how much point we'll give it. For starter, if we take the list, we can see that no, it's not an original outfit or model, though since it's been taken from the game itself, it works as intended for what it had to do, but for that I had to take a point or kinda just off, since I spotted some places when the wings and the air does clip and wiggle a bit too much from my liking. It's going to be a recurring theme, I'm telling you, because having a balance between making your model too stiff in which it'll bounce out of everything or not enough, which will lead to it clipping everywhere, is really thin. For the choreo, I'll just rename it to dance for that. For the dance, it's pretty rare we'll have some original moves because it's much more easier to just take the one that everyone knows, and you don't have to burden yourself with making one, since you can just copy the instruction from a model to another. And let's all be honest, not everyone have the time, since we just want to make as much content as we can, and people are kinda lazy in life. Take me, for an example. Sometimes you just feel less guilty in being lazy, but talking about other people being lazy. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, the dance. It's functional, unlike me. But the camera is a no-no. It follows the model for sure, but there's no change in angles or some dynamics to it, so I'll have to take a point out of it. And it's actually not a good thing, because it made me take some points off the background, since we can see that it hasn't been completed. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for its originality, cause I haven't remembered seeing one, so I figured he was the one making it, but take it with a grain of salt if you've already seen a background like this one. For last, it won't be too much of a surprise, because people love to use the original song that goes with the dance. It's kind of obvious, I had to take a point off since it's not a cover and no extra for it. All of this make for a grand total of 3 points out of 8 for
南风话
I still want to give him my personal note of 6 out of 10, since it's the one I feel like the grid brings it quite down, but with a background not finished, and I can't get over those legs. I know it's part of the choreography, it just feels so out of place that I really find it funny. But the whole thing made me think it was its first try at it, or maybe even something lazier like some kind of content farm. I'm telling you, it does happen quite a lot. With that said, let's review the next one. Did you like that? Cause we keep going. For the second video, we'll look at finally an English creator I can say, or I hope he is, with that kind of username, RTTRFG. He used the song Genie by the girls band called Girls' Generation, and he features another one of the SirWu franchise, Robin, in a lovely outfit. If you think this outfit is lewd, I'm telling you, we're just started going down the rabbit hole, cause it's getting much worse later on. Rabbit like a bunny outfit. We'll go over the grid quickly. We do have an original outfit. I thought we'll zoom out the legs were having some kind of problem, but it's just a bad blend of color code with a background that makes it look like stretch out around this part. And at those frames, when she raises her arms, the accessories do clip through the head. For the dance, it follows the one in the original clip, so no point there. But there's any problem with it, so I'll leave it at that. For the camera though, it's an improvement from the last one with movements, yet I can't give it its full point because I do believe that it came with the instruction just like the dance. You can share the information from one set to another easily, like I've said, and I think sometimes when you implement it as it is without tweaking some parameters, it can lead to some janks here and there, like we've seen with some zoom out a bit too far that reveals a bit too much of the empty background, and I'm really not a fan of some of those wide shot camera pen. No surprise for the background being made by him, or I think, since he even typed some words on his set. And the music is copyrighted, so no points, for a total of 5 out of 8. As for my own personal ranking, I'll give it a much more appropriate 7 out of 10, making this our first label title. Oh, Robin in a bunny outfit! Out of 10. We're at the third video, the halfway point, and we kick things off with SirWu and his own making of Overdose. This time finally we have our first cover song by Kotoha. I'll let the link for her cover in the description, and he also used our first non-star rail character. Wow! We should celebrate by opening some champagne. I guess that'll do. Instead, this time, we're going towards Blue Archive with Tucky in not her usual clothes. Quite a big change. Let's see what the grid says about it. The outfit is original, but it has this weird wrinkle under the top, so I'll ditch out some points. I noticed the air is about to wiggle when the character stands still, but not enough for me to take a point. The dance is the same as I've seen many times, so no point there, but it doesn't bug out, so it's fine, we keep a point. And I've decided to take some points off since the control of the camera is the same as I've seen before, and I'm pretty sure it's been copied like with the dance moves. Like I've said, the instructions for the dance on camera can be easily transferred from one to another, so it's not too much of a surprise, yet he still makes good use of it in a nice way. The background works perfectly with the camera's movement, and it was a cover song, so also a point there. It all sums up to a total of 6 points. We're getting there bit by bit, and on a personal note, I'll give this one a 8, making this a Tucky nice change of clothes out of 10. Back with the Starl character, in this one made by one of Akashi's artists.
混沌中立拉来耶。
Thanks, text-to-speech.
You're welcome, Pickle.
Oh my god, you can talk! He used not one but two models for those knowing the series, March 7th and our alter ego Every Night in a nice idea for the song Mirror by Ado, making this a well thought of theme. For the ranking, despite having two, the models came from the game. Every Night model doesn't have too much problem, but March does have those wiggle from time to time, and I know how hard it is to implement two characters that interact sometime with one another, but I just want to see sometimes more than just a no clip between both of them. The dance is technically original since there isn't any reference from the original music clip, but it has been used too many times in other instances, so I didn't give it all its point, and I also let it slide, saying that with the second model he had to mirror, he said the word, the instructions, making it more enjoyable than just having both do the same. The camera's fine, with two models he had to make one that follows both or one of them, and a mix between the two is well implemented. But as sad as it is, Ado do make some cover songs, but this one is her original, so I have to check it as being copyrighted, and the background is fine from what I've seen. And for our first time, we'll check this nice little box for the extra with the nice details over the subtitles flowing around, or even at the start with the black and white creamy filter to open up the song. This was the example I had for today and why I wanted to include an extra point on the grid. We're ramping up quite nicely and fast, no point in repeating some easy mark point for nothing. And for this one, we have a total of 5.5 out of 8 with my own personal score of 9 out of 10, calling this one a it's not because it's the default character that you can't make a good video out of 10. We're at the end, our fifth and final video to review, and the moment I was the most waiting for, since throughout the analysis we've seen different examples of what makes a MMD, but not what makes a good one. And with Mox, we'll see what I call the pinnacle of a well-done MMD. I hope this video won't make it to him. I'll feel like I'm doing a tribute to him. I personally like his 3D model, and that he often used a character from the Honkai series, either Third Impact or Star Rail, like today with Castoris, but what I do like the most is that we think alike, and he gets all creative with the camera shots. It gives a certain dynamic that you don't see often, and just for that, I am such a fan. Well, that and the outfit. I told you we'll go deeper. The song he used for his video is Alien by Lee Soo-yoon, one that I do love a lot. I didn't say it prior, but I also do love Overdose and Mirror a lot too, even if I haven't given all of them a point. But enough praising, more grading. So even if we start with the default outfit, we still have other outfits she changes throughout. You can figure easily that it doesn't come from the game. The model works fire, it doesn't have any problems, only some hair tip that clipped through the shoulder, but I really needed to actively search for that specific mishap. We can cross off the dance and music since it's the original one, but we can keep all the other ones checked. Like I said in my praise, the camera is A1 like that shot. Just wow. And no problem with movements. Background is him, no doubt, and I've decided to cheat a bit and give him the extra box check, even if by the description I said that one specific is for a special effect, and the only one we see is with his name at the start and some snow effect, though I could associate it with the background and not the extra, but it's been used efficiently, just enough, but not too much. Don't judge me, okay? I give it an extra point cause he gets an extra place in my heart. Okay, that was too much cringe, I'll have to take that one out. All of it comes down to a nice total of 7 out of 8, a nearly perfect score for the grid, even with the extra point. But for me, this one goes directly at a score of 11 out of 10. I don't care what people might say, it's my favorite one I've seen thus far, making this one a Mox-sama out of 10. We finally arrived at the end. What a ride this was, and a troubling change of pace for me. To be honest, I don't really want to make a proper extra. You know, I've been thinking about doing something absurd, like just throwing explosion at screen, big giant mecha, some flashing anime move, but I'm not that good with VFX. I'm still going to say thank you all for putting it up with me so far, even if you're from the far future, cause it won't be the one already subscribed that I'll impress. You know me pretty much by now. Still, I love you all. I may revise the grid if I do decide to make another one of these, since I have other video I want to talk about, but only attributing 1 point for each topic is kind of hard to put in perspective with the others. Also, those 2 points that often are checked just seems irrelevant, and deciding not to count the extra could make the score go over the grid if someone were to check all the boxes. There's a lot to remake to this, even through the making of my script, I often confused those two. There's just a fine line between what I consider a well-done model / dance and what does work properly means. I realize I haven't explained what the words meant, cause some of you might be like, what does he mean by well cooked or if it works? Don't worry, it's just my personal notes. I'm kind of used to whenever I type it, I make it look as weird as possible. But it did not help because it made me look like both meant the same thing. I consider that being well done if it's by itself the model or dance can work, like if the dance instruction doesn't have any bad movements, but it's kind of obvious it won't, since it's already been fine-tuned for others to use if it's not an original one. Same thing with the model, if it comes from the game itself it's sure to work properly, it's been made by professional. The only time I could take a point off will be with an original outfit, like when I had to take a point off with the Toki model, and even then I didn't want it to be too hard on it, since it was an overall nicely done original model, so I only took half a point. After retrospection, I wanted my grid to not be complicated and reflect both the does it look professional with I want to encourage taking risk. But both those points do contradict themselves, since you need to make mistakes to understand and be sure to turn out not being professional if you do so. It was my way to say that for a full score, you need to have original models, move, background, and song that doesn't have any problem whatsoever. And at this point, just go watch a movie if you want that kind of experience. It's not with that kind of content you'll find the perfect one, but we can still come close by analyzing it. I do hope that my explanation can bring people on that creative path and make you think before shoving something half baked and call it done. At this point, I've gone through all I wanted to say. I'll just remind you a big thank you to you all and go check each of the original video in the description below. Give them love, thanks, even your body if it's what you want. I'm not one to judge. And for the first time, I'll say something proper for an ending. I hope to see you all on the next video, and maybe this time will not be in 2 years. You're all amazing little buggers. Go kiss your favorite body pillow and send money to your favorite VTuber. Girl, I can't believe I just really ended with that. Okay, bye!